Alrighty guys, what's going on? It's Phil here and welcome to my Money in the Bank 2025 predictions. Money in the Bank 2025 is going to be featuring 4 matches on the card. With the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, we have the tag team match between the WWE Champion John Cena and Logan Paul taking on the World Heavyweight Champion in Jey Uso and his tag team partner in Cody Rhodes. And of course, finally, the Women's Intercontinental Championship matchup between the champion Lyra Valkyria and the challenger in Becky Lynch. The Money in the Bank 2025 build, per se, has been a lot of Money in the Bank qualifying matches, but when it comes down to the grand scheme of things of the 2 other matches other than the Money in the Bank ladder matches, we have a really good and one of the matches I'm most looking forward to in this Women's Intercontinental Championship matchup between Lyra and Becky, and the tag team match is going to be very interesting for not only both the world champions that are involved in all of this, but where Cody Rhodes and where Logan Paul is going to be going from here. So in this preview and predictions video for the Money in the Bank ladder matches, I'm going to be doing it a little bit differently than anybody else. I'm going to be ranking each and every participant in the Money in the Bank ladder matches from 6 to 1, number 1 being my overall winner of the Money in the Bank briefcase, and just the other 6 participants and basically just ranking them on how likely they are to win the Money in the Bank ladder match. And then the other 2 matches with the championship being on the line and this tag team match, I'll just give you guys my actual winners of those matches. And we'll talk about where I think WWE can go from here, and ultimately with the winner of the Money in the Bank briefcases, where I think these guys and girls can cash in, and ultimately what could be the end goal with this Money in the Bank briefcase being on set holder. But with that being said, why don't you guys hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and turn on the bell for all notifications. That way you guys never miss another upload right here on the YouTube channel. As you guys can probably tell, I'm utilizing a new mic. I got it clipped onto me, so let me know the audio and let me know how you guys think this sounds. Other than that, when it comes down to other videos here on the YouTube channel, you got my men's and women's Money in the Bank ladder match simulations from WWE 2K25. Both those videos are coming out on Friday and Saturday. The women's is going to be coming out on Friday, and then the men's Money in the Bank ladder match is going to be coming out on that Saturday. So stay tuned for that. But now let's get right into the Money in the Bank 2025 predictions. Let's kick things off with the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, as we have Rhea Ripley, Naomi, Alexa Bliss, Giulia, Stephanie Vaquer, and Roxanne Perez all vying for that women's Money in the Bank briefcase. When you just take a look at the optics of this women's Money in the Bank ladder match, this could quite possibly be, if not is already, the most stacked women's Money in the Bank ladder match of all time. And honestly, when it comes down to each 6 of these participants, you can make an argument for any one of these 6 winners to come out on top and be Miss Money in the Bank. But when it comes down to my rankings, let's start off with number 6, and to me, sadly, that is Alexa Bliss. Now, that is no shot to Alexa Bliss whatsoever when it comes down to the talent of her. Alexa Bliss is very good. And honestly, ever since she has come back, she has done very good for herself. Ever since being a part of Friday Night SmackDown, she has found her role. But when it comes down to everything for Alexa Bliss, she's doing this thing with Charlotte. She's kind of, showing some dark tendencies within this. I definitely do believe that we will be seeing some more dark tendencies in this Money in the Bank ladder match, but truth be told, I think she's still got a lot more stuff going on with the Wyatt 6 possibly, and this stuff going on with Charlotte Flair. So to me, Alexa Bliss is my least favorite to win the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. My number 5 would have to be Giulia, mainly because of the fact that Giulia, it seems like she has her eyes set on that Women's United States Championship and Zelina Vega. So when it comes down to Giulia's side of things, though I think if she were to win the briefcase, it would not be a wrong decision whatsoever, considering Giulia and the power that she has. But in terms of just where things are going right now, in terms of the landscape of the women's division, Giulia not really being a complete favorite, but that would be really kind of cool to see if she were to win women's Money in the Bank. Number 4 would kind of fall in the same line as Giulia. I got Stephanie Vaquer coming in at number 4. Mainly because even though Stephanie Vaquer is red hot, on WWE Raw right now. She is absolutely killing it. She won the final women's qualifier for Monday Night Raw to be in this thing against Liv Morgan and Ivy Nile. She is red hot, and WWE is going to be pushing her to the moon. But you're going to be seeing Stephanie Vaquer in the Women's Championship picture further down the line. So Stephanie Vaquer comes in at number 4. My number 3 would have to be Roxanne Perez. Imagine Roxanne Perez, who's already kind of getting into it with a little bit of the Judgment Day and the whole Liv Morgan situation, along with Raquel Rodriguez. And now Raquel is not really trusting in Dom right now, but she's definitely not trusting in Roxanne. Imagine just the overall optics of everything. Seeing Roxanne with the Women's Money in the Bank briefcase and Liv Morgan possibly still getting in some way, shape, or form involved in the Women's Championship title picture. Look, Liv Morgan, she can be inserted in the Women's Championship title picture and you wouldn't even blink an eye at this point, especially with how, just insanely talented that Liv Morgan has been ever since this entire situation with the Judgment Day has kind of unfolded. So, Liv Morgan in the Women's World Championship title picture, you would not even blink an eye. But imagine that kind of scenario where we see Roxanne Perez with the Women's Money in the Bank briefcase. The tension is already building. The jealousy would be there 100%, and I would absolutely love to see it. But my number 2, when it comes down to everything, would definitely be a former rival of Liv Morgan, maybe still is a rival at this point, and that is Mommy Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley and the whole Mommy in the Bank situation, that just screams money, and WWE would definitely be on that when it comes down to the Mommy in the Bank, shirts and Mommy in the Bank briefcase and everything like that. Like, it would just print money. So I would not be shocked if WWE were to go that route and have Rhea Ripley win the Women's Money in the Bank briefcase. And to be completely honest, with WWE going to Australia later on in the year, who's to say that maybe Mommy does not try to cash in Australia to become the Women's World Champion once again? I'm just saying it makes a lot of sense, and you can have that be 100% the case. So Mommy in the Bank could be a legit possibility. So she's my number 2. But my number 1 and my official winner for the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match, it's Naomi. It's gotta be Naomi. If it's not Naomi, I don't know what WWE is doing at this point. Naomi, proceed with caution. That entire thing with the Women's Money in the Bank briefcase, the Women's Money in the Bank briefcase just screams Naomi right now. So you just gotta capitalize on this whole thing with Naomi. Win the Money in the Bank briefcase. Have her cash in and either cost Bianca, Jade an opportunity at the championship, or even if one of them's the champion by the time, at that point, you can have Naomi cash in on either Bianca or Jade Cargill, and Naomi can be your women's champion over on Friday Night SmackDown. So it just screams, a Naomi win for the Women's Money in the Bank briefcase this year, and if it's not, I'll be very shocked, honestly. So give me Naomi to win the Women's Money in the Bank briefcase. Up next, let's talk about the tag team matchup between the undisputed WWE Champion John Cena and his tag team partner in Logan Paul, taking on the World Heavyweight Champion and main event Jey Uso, Yeet, and his tag team partner in the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Now, we all saw Saturday night's main event. Jey Uso, Logan Paul for the World Heavyweight Championship. Very solid match for what it was in the main event of Saturday night's main event. John Cena, he beat up R-Truth so bad that WWE just decided to not renew his contract. That's terrible. I know. I hate that they did that to R-Truth. I'm just trying to find some sort of logic here with everything that's happened with R-Truth and Carlito and everybody else that is honestly going to continue to be let go with their contracts in the matter of days, because I don't believe that's done by any means. But regardless, Logan Paul and John Cena are now a tag team now. At first, this was slated to be a 6-man tag team match with Jay, Jimmy, and Cody taking on John, Logan, and a potential Travis Scott. Thank God it didn't turn out to be that way. But in terms of what is happening here with this tag team match, I don't know where things are going with this, okay? Look, we all saw that Logan Paul and John Cena at the last face-off between all four of these guys. Logan Paul and John Cena didn't technically look on the same page. And that to me screams that we could be seeing tension between John Cena and Logan Paul within this tag team match that could lead to a Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes victory. So I am going with Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes to pick up the win in this tag team match because Logan Paul is going to do something that John Cena is not going to like. And John Cena and Logan Paul are going to lose this match because of that. Now, we could possibly see maybe a John Cena and Logan Paul match down the line, maybe at Night of Champions. Maybe it could be for the title, maybe it doesn't have to be for the title. I don't know. I would most rather like to see the title be defended at Night of Champions, because Night of Champions is a night where championships should be defended. So, honestly, I could see that. I could see John Cena and Logan Paul possibly for the Undisputed WWE Championship. Logan Paul obviously would not win that match against John, but it gets John through another appearance, and it gets John through another PLE, still as your Undisputed WWE Champion. John Cena is not done with this reign by any means, and John Cena is not done as a heel by any means. So, John Cena, Logan Paul lose this match to Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso, and then we'll see where Jey Uso goes from here for SummerSlam and beyond. What his challenger is going to be for Night of Champions, who knows? Maybe it's still the whole Gunther situation, because Gunther faces Jey for the world title after Money in the Bank is all said and done. And what's going to be happening with Cody? Who knows? But I definitely do see Cody Rhodes versus John Cena being the end-all, be-all for SummerSlam this year. Whether that be Night 1 or Night 2, probably Night 2. Hopefully Travis Scott does not show up there like he did at WrestleMania. And if The Rock shows up, help us. But at the end of the day, my winner when it comes down to this tag team match is Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso, because of something Logan Paul is going to be doing in this thing that John Cena is not going to like, and we'll see where things go from there. So, Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso for the win. Up next, let's talk about the Women's Intercontinental Championship matchup between the champion Lyra Valkyria and the challenger in Becky Lynch. This feud has been fantastic for the Women's Intercontinental Championship in general, and for the two ladies that are a part of this feud as a whole. Lyra Valkyria, right now, is in the best state of her entire career. Not just because of, who she is going with against in Becky Lynch, just because of the whole factor that WWE has done with Lyra Valkyria since becoming the first ever Women's Intercontinental Champion. She's been paired up with great people over the course of her reign, and this Becky Lynch one has been absolutely the best, bar none, because of just the chemistry that these two ladies have with each other, and ultimately, just the way that WWE has gone about this feud as a whole. I mean, let's just take a look at this. At the end of the day, Lyra Valkyria was getting out of Becky Lynch's shadow, one way or another. And WWE did that. WWE absolutely did that. And whether Lyra retains or loses the championship here, Lyra Valkyria, to me, is going to come out the better woman in all of this. Mainly because, yeah, sure, she might not walk out as Women's Intercontinental Champion. And maybe that just kind of spoils who I think is going to be winning this match. But even though she might not walk out as the Women's Intercontinental Champion, Lyra has just completely been better in the ring. She's been better on the microphone. She's just improved so much. And the fans are ultimately getting behind her. But as we all know, there's one person missing in this entire situation, and that is, of course, Bayley. Bayley was supposed to team up with Lyra Valkyria for the Women's Tag Team Championships back at WrestleMania. She got attacked by Becky Lynch, so she couldn't make it. Becky Lynch then comes into the fold. She teams with Lyra. They win the tag team titles, and then they lose it immediately after to Liv and Raquel. And then at the end of the day, it just blossomed this beautiful feud for the two ladies over this Women's Intercontinental Championship. And the Women's IC title is bigger and better than it's ever been. So, with everything that's happening here, where is Bayley going to fall in line with all of this? She's got to return here. She's got to return in this matchup here. And at the end of the day, whether that is during the match and help Lyra retain the title over Becky Lynch, or it's after the fact when Lyra loses the championship and she has to raise Becky's arm in victory, because at the end of the day, that is the stipulation in this match. If Becky Lynch wins this championship, Lyra has to hold Becky's hand up high, saying that she's basically the better woman. While if Lyra actually does retain, Becky can no longer challenge for the championship as long as Lyra's the champion. So that's the whole stipulation in this thing. But I do believe that Becky is going to become your new Women's Intercontinental champion. She's going to attack Lyra after the hand raise, and then that's when Bayley comes back into the fold. She saves her friend in Lyra Valkyria, and there you go. We have your Women's Intercontinental Championship match possibly set for WWE Evolution, and that is Becky versus Bayley for the Women's IC title. Or you could do a triple threat. Either way, it works. So at the end of the day, I do see Becky Lynch being your new Women's Intercontinental Champion by the end of all of this. So Becky Lynch becomes a new champ. And finally, we have the men's Money in the Bank ladder matches. We have LA Knight, Penta, Andrade, El Grande Americano, Solo Sikoa, and Seth freaking Rollins. This is a strange group of 6 for the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, but honestly, I'm for it because you got a lot of great talent here. So let's see how this goes. But like the women's Money in the Bank ladder match where I ranked from 6 to 1, I'm going to be doing the exact same thing for the men. So we're going to start off with number 6, that being Andrade. I love Andrade. I think Andrade is absolutely fantastic, and I was very shocked that he actually did win his qualifier over guys like Carmelo Hayes and Jacob Fatu. But it honestly made a hell of a lot of sense when you actually thought about it, because Jacob Fatu, he got cost the qualifier due to Solo Sikoa and due to JC Mateo. So that obviously was just going to take Jacob Fatu out of the equation altogether. Miz, he was taken out by Jacob Fatu, so he could not help Carmelo Hayes pick up the win. So who else was there to pick up the bones? That was Andrade, and Andrade became a guy to be in this Money in the Bank ladder match. I think he is just super underrated. I think he is just super underutilized, and him being in this Money in the Bank ladder match is going to be a great thing for him. But he's not winning. I mean, I know he's not winning, but hopefully down the line, WWE does see something in him, because, man, this guy at least deserves to be obviously United States champion down the line, Intercontinental champion down the line. The guy's fantastic. The guy is super talented. He should be way higher than what he is right now. The best thing that Andrade has done since coming back to WWE was that Best of 7 series against Carmelo Hayes, and WWE hasn't done anything with him since. My number 5, surprisingly, is Penta. Now, that's not a shot to Penta whatsoever. I don't want that to be misconstrued whatsoever at this point, but it's just not time for Penta to be Mr. Money in the Bank. It would honestly be very cool to see him with that Money in the Bank briefcase, but I just don't think it makes any sense realistically, mainly because, if anything, they're probably just going to continue either the solo run that he's got going on with possibly the Intercontinental Championship down the line, or they're just going to put him and Rey Fenix back together and we're going to form the Lucha Bros again. So it's just not time. It's just not time for him to be Mr. Money in the Bank. I would absolutely love it, and I think it would be really cool to see with that happen. But it's just not going to. So number 5 is Penta for me. Number 4, in my eyes, is going to be Solo Sikoa. Solo Sikoa right now, in terms of the grand scheme of things, he's got everything to do with Jacob Fatu and JC Mateo. He is completely tied up in that bloodline story. So at the end of the day, with the United States Championship and Jacob Fatu and JC Mateo to worry about, Solo Sikoa, though it could be interesting to see somebody like Solo Sikoa be Mr. Money in the Bank, I just don't see it happening. So Solo Sikoa would be in my number 4 position. My number 3 position, it's surprisingly El Grande Americano. I mean, let's just take a look at everything here, okay? We don't know much about this guy. We don't have much tape on this guy. Yet he is in the Money in the Bank ladder match to determine one of the most key factors of future storytelling in all of WWE. So that's just insane to me. But he beat the likes of AJ Styles and CM Punk in his qualifier, and it's just strange to see him in this match, but also not at the same time, because Seth Rollins cost CM Punk his spot in the Men's Money in the Bank ladder match, and El Grande pinned AJ Styles. So, I mean, El Grande, he is picking up some wins, and he's picking up some major wins at that. But, I mean, him running around with the briefcase would be very, very interesting to say the least. And who knows, what if El Grande gave Chad Gable his blessing to be the one to actually be the holder of the Money in the Bank briefcase? I mean, we've all been wanting to see Chad Gable do something for a very long time. I mean, hell, we wanted to see Chad Gable be the Intercontinental Champion for months at that time. So, who knows? It's a very interesting thing to see, but he's in my number 3 position for that reason and that reason alone, because of the Chad Gable element. And by the way, like I said, those two are two separate people, so El Grande giving Chad Gable his blessing to be the holder of the Money in the Bank briefcase does make a lot of sense. But the final two in this entire thing, and I've been going back and forth on the actual ranking of these two individuals, the final two that I have here for the ranking, my number 2 is going to be Seth Rollins. Now, I had Seth Rollins as my winner for Money in the Bank for a very long time, throughout this entire situation. Ever since he was really kind of announced to be in a qualifier, and then everything that kind of happened with that, he was my pick to win the Money in the Bank briefcase ever since he really qualified. But in terms of the grand scheme of things, Seth Rollins can be going after the World Heavyweight Championship anytime he pleases. So he doesn't need the Money in the Bank briefcase. So, I mean, at the end of the day, with this whole group that he's got going on right now, yeah, sure, Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, the two Brawns, the Braun squared, as you can say, they can very much go out there, just destroy the rest of the field, and just have Seth Rollins walk up that ladder and retrieve the Money in the Bank briefcase. With this whole faction that Seth has going on, that definitely can be a possibility. I'm not taking that out of the equation. But, like I said, he can challenge for the world title anytime he pleases, so he really doesn't technically need it. So, my number 1 is none other than L.A. Knight. Yeah. I mean, we've been wanting this man to hold the Money in the Bank briefcase for, the last 3 years? Give it to him. Give it to him. I mean, at the end of the day, I think the babyface side of LA Knight is just dead. It's tired. It's boring at this point. I need LA Knight to be a heel. I need him to be a heel. And if you do have him win the Money in the Bank briefcase, have this be the catalyst of him turning heel. Because at the end of the day, the Money in the Bank briefcase to me always works better with somebody as a heel holding that thing. And it makes all the sense in the world as to why somebody like Seth Rollins would be the eventual winner of the Money in the Bank briefcase. But if you have somebody like LA Knight, who's mega popular right now, but could be a massive heel at the end of the day, if you pull the trigger on him being a heel with the Money in the Bank briefcase, I think that would be absolutely huge. And I think that would be the thing that would ultimately get him over the hump as, somebody that is just a safe person to just place in the United States Championship title picture, for instance. So, I think you just have LA Knight win the Money in the Bank briefcase, and I think you have him turn heel throughout the entire process of him being Mr. Money in the Bank. I think that would be the greatest thing for him, and honestly, at the end of the day, that would be a great thing to do, and a great story to tell with that Money in the Bank briefcase as a whole. So, give me LA Knight, as Mr. Money in the Bank. So those are my thoughts and predictions. Let me know your thoughts and predictions down in the comment section below. Make sure you guys stay tuned to the channel for all the stuff that's coming out this weekend. So, I mean, you're not going to want to miss that. So subscribe, like the video, turn on the bell, do all the things. If you like the video, guys, it helps get the channel out there more, and honestly, it shows the video out there more, and you saying that you like the video, meaning that at the end of the day, we should show this to people. So please, hit that thumbs up button. It's easily the best thing that you can do for this channel as of right now, as we continue to grow. So, thank you guys very much, all the love and support. I'll see you guys in the next videos. Stay safe, God bless, and I'll see you guys later on down the line. I will be doing a Money in the Bank 2025 review after the show is off the air, so stay tuned for that. Take care, guys. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you after we have our Money in the Bank winners. Take care, guys.